what's the point? All kinds of people are willing to help you if they know your dreams. I can name 50 people right now who were helpful to me and influential. And they came from all kinds of walks of life, lived in all different types of countries. Don't be so blinded to think that people aren't willing to help you. All kinds of people are willing to help you. Work hard, play hard, have your plan, and enjoy. Have a wonderful day. It was great being here. I hope I've said something. Any quick questions? Hobsons.com, schoolguide.com, or right now, technology's so big, you just go and do a Google search or whatever kind of search and say, college search, and it'll name you thousands. But as a professional, I'm a member of the National Association of College Admissions Council, so think about all the people that you know you respect and admire. Spend some time over dinner, over lunch, over any type of conversation. Start asking them about their experience. You know, where did they go to school? What did they do, et cetera, because that's how you start understanding that. Guess what? And the young man told me a profound statement, and I almost was offended at the time he told it to me. But I understood. He said, I looked at you, he said, I sized you up. He said, you know what? I said, if he can do it, I can do it. You know? But it was some truth in that. There was a lot of truth in that. He went on to graduate Cornell University. He's a doctor now, and that's why I was asking you about what hospital. Not to talk frat, but he's also frat as well. But bottom line is, we're real examples. Son of a trash collector. When I say trash collector, I mean get up, go to work, 4 o'clock in the morning, dump cans in the truck. Growing up, that's the one job, and probably even to this day, people say, I never want to do that. Lost my dad in the fall. I started paying more respect to him before he even died about this issue, because what I learned from my father was hard work. When I got up in the morning, my father was already at work. So there's no shame in the game. Work, put food on the table, so his son could become a college director of admissions. No shame in the game. Let's start telling the story. Mom's secretary. If I can do it, you can as well. Right. Any other questions? Website, ccsu.edu. If you go to the admissions page, you'll see a picture of me. You just click it, send me an email. If you're going to email me, just please say you met me here, so I have some point of reference. Of course, I don't know everybody, I didn't meet everybody, but at least give me a point of reference for how we connected, and I'll be glad to help. I'm not here today to talk about Central. I'm here today to talk about college and admissions, and if I can help you, whether it be University of the Arts or any place else, I'll gladly try to do that for you. All right? Be blessed. Have a great day.
After we'll have question and answer period for you to get to know them a little more. If you do have a question that wasn't, is Mr. Michael, who is currently completing his PhD in Human Services and Counseling Studies at Capella University. Am I correct? Correct. Human Services at Springfield College in 2006. He has also obtained his bachelor's degree in Human Services at Springfield College in 1996, and in his associate's degree in Drug and Alcohol Counseling from Gateway Community College in 1995. Michael is a U.S. Army veteran and has been awarded the U.S. Army Achievement and Good Conduct Medals, along with his several other military achievement honors. In addition, for the past 16 years, Michael's career has been focused on working the substance abuse and mental health field. He obtained his drug and alcohol counseling.
He's in school, very good, and at home, very polite. But once I hit the streets, I was one of those kids who, when he was home, he was, "Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom. How you doing?" And then when I walked out the door, I turned the hat around backwards. I rolled up one pants leg. I know it's corny now, but that's how we did it. And pulled my pants down, and I hit the projects, and it's on. Go out to the street, pull out the gun, put it on, pull out another gun, put it on, take the money from the bag, take the drugs, pass them out, and then we go do our thing. Nobody had any idea of all the things that I was doing. And I kept it quiet. And I kept it away from home. Mom didn't know, Dad didn't know. Sure, they had some ideas, but I did my best to try to hide it. So by the time of age of 17, there was this big shootout in New Haven. I was involved. Mom and Dad thought they was going to murder me, so they stuck me in the Army. You heard that I won several medals and several accomplishments and all kind of accommodations, but it wasn't the beginning. When I first got in, I was very rebellious. I did not understand authority. I had no idea what they put me in. So the first day I'm in there, I get into a fight. Second day, a fight. Third day, fight. I ended up, in my 6 years in the service, going to prison in the first year 3 times for either disrespect, fighting, AWOL, gun carrying, knife carrying, threatening to all my superiors. But one thing that was amazing was they didn't kick me out. They felt that all these things that I had would be a great attribute once we were put into some form of combat situation. So in 1984, I went to Grenada. And it was at that time all this street knowledge actually came to use. And I was able to survive and help other people make it through, and we were, of course, successful. And when I came home, you would think that someone with all these accomplishments again would want to stay away from the streets, you think? Well, my first day home, I came home, threw up my uniform, threw on these pair of Lees. Anybody remember those Lees? Cone front Adidas, mock neck, some Gazelles. I ran out to the projects. I met out with Green Eye Dave, and he gave me 2 9mm pistols and a half a key, and it was on. Well, let's just say in the first year of me being out of service, I was up for attempted murder, and drug charges. But I was living a dual life because I was also in college. I was also playing baseball for Southern Connecticut State University. I'm about to go to the pros. I'm about to be drafted. 1 month from being drafted, you would think that somebody making straight A's in college, living on campus, doing all these great things, but at the same time selling out outside of Eastern Circle projects, down with June Boy Carter, Herbert Street, the Hill, the Ville. And they're telling me, stop. And they're telling me, Mike, stop. You got too many good things going for you. My family's telling me, stop. But the money's telling me, keep going. In other words, the devil was telling me, there's no future. So ironically, one night, out with some friends, 2 college friends, I go to this place called Skitter's on Fifth Street. And it's just to have a short drink to celebrate the end of a semester and another honors list. And then immediately walking into the bar, a friend of mine gets into an argument with some white men. And next thing you know, we up. Me, being the person that I am, street person, the army person, I couldn't leave my boys out there. I started shooting. And I shot a couple of them, but mostly I shot one kid in the chest, right above his heart. Now, of course, I was badly beaten, hospitalized, but society obviously didn't see it that way. Society called it attempted murder, and I was sentenced to 5 years in prison, my first day. None of the white kids were arrested. None of the brawl even came out. They basically said I walked into the club and I shot. That began the change in my life. From that point, I ended up in Welly Avenue. My first experience in prison, the first understanding of not liking prison was waking up that first day and being served breakfast. And they gave us this big giant tray. The tray looked like, about this big, this high. And they opened it up and they slid it through the bars, and I grabbed it and I looked at it and I said, it was a cake, it was an egg, and it was a pack of sugar and a milk. And I said, CO, what happened to my bacon? What happened to the meat? Pancakes. He said, welcome to prison, son. And from that day, and it's amazing, sausage and eggs, yeah, but from that day on, I began to experience what I never understood about the street gang, which was the jail side. So in prison, of course, you got to do what you got to do in order to survive. But for some reason, I couldn't close my eyes to jail. In other words, most people are playing cards and they're shooting dice and they're just trying to waste time to get their time over with. For some reason, I could not. Every day seemed to be hard. Being locked in a cage, no bigger than your arms. I'm tall, I'm 6'2", so my feet had to be across my toilet. And then there were a lot of behaviors in there that are accepted, that are not kind of accepted out here, which is like men on men, which is normal. All kinds of stabbings, shootings, just an angry, angry place. So while in prison, I met a man who basically mentored me in jail. Now, I don't know if you understand how hard that is, but for some reason, this man was directed to me, and he asked me, why am I angry? And I was pissed because I felt like I was defending myself. I felt like what had happened to me was wrong, and me spending time in jail that were contrary to what I believed in. And as I began to read, he showed me the book of Job, and in that book, it talks about what the devil put Job through in order to test his patience, to test his understanding of God, to test his love for God, to test his understanding of what our purpose is on this earth, is to choose between one or the other. And he gave me the understanding that I had to choose either one or the other in order to save the rest of my life. So I decided to confess my sins. I decided to become honest with myself about all the things that I did, because there were many things that I didn't get caught for. And I decided to give myself to God. And in prison, I denounced Satan. I got out. I got baptized. I began going to church. I began to read the word. I began to speak out against the gangs. I began to talk against them, even though they were my friends and I loved them, but I would never, ever stand on that corner again. But it's amazing how God puts you through certain things to just prove, to make sure that you really love him, that you really understand that this is the direction that you really want to go in. I get out of Roger Sherman House. I'm working my first job after getting out. Now imagine being a millionaire and making chicken and happy to do it. Getting $184 a week, mopping floors, taking out trash, serving people. How would you like apple pie with that? And your friends come in and go, Mike, what you doing? What you doing? I don't want to hear it. Move over. You want a shake? You want some fries? Mike, why are you? This is the way I'm going, guys. This is it. You can talk all you want. You can show me all you want. But I'll never live that life again. So after that job, I go to another temporary labor job. I finally managed to get a construction job. And I'm working hard. I'm going to school. Working hard. I'm going to church. Family's proud of me. And then one day, an avalanche of bricks fall off the side of a building and collapse on top of me, and I'm paralyzed and I'm blind. Major surgeries in the hospital, learn to walk again, learn to talk again. Doctor walked in the room. I was blind, and he said, "Son, you'll never walk again." I said, "You out your mind. I'm supposed to believe that?" I said, "After all I've been through, you think I'm going to lay in a bed for the rest of my life? You out your mind. Watch, I'm going to walk." My faith began to strengthen. I began to lay in that bed, and I had nothing but time but to think and talk and pray. And every day they're telling me I had to learn to talk again. B, 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 A, 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 ooh, 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 all over. I had to learn to walk. I had to learn to hold my strength up. I had to learn to eat differently. I had to learn to do all kinds of different. I'm blind, just about blind in one eye. Surgeries on my neck, surgeries on my back, surgeries on my shoulders for the last, 16, 17 years. But through the grace of God, as you can see, I can walk. I can talk. But as a result of that accident, I had to go in another direction because there were a lot of things that I was limited in doing. So I decided to become a counselor. I met a psychologist in prison. And basically, I was depressed, I was down, I was sad, I was suicidal. I asked to see him. And after a month of actually trying to see him, he sits me down and he says to me, "Son, there's nothing I can do for you. You don't get out in 5 years. Come see me in 5 years. And I remember walking out of his office saying, man, I could do that. And I thought to myself, you know what, being in prison and being in the streets and being on drugs, yes, at one point after shooting the kid, my life kind of went down. I started smoking crack. I started doing more robberies, more shootings, not only in Connecticut, but in Jersey, Philly. Wherever I knew the money was going to be, me and a crew of dudes would go out there and we would go get it. And we didn't care who we hurt, cats, dogs, children, whatever was in that house was going to die. Simple. And it was that evil. So after all that, decided to go back to college, and I just saw that, you know what, because of the experiences I've been through, I think I can use those experiences. I think I can be different. I can take these stories and these understandings and apply them to people who have been through this. I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, which in other words, I have nightmares. I cannot sleep at night. High anxiety. I suffer from depression. I suffer from anger. And I also suffer from ignorance, which now I lead a different life. When I'm by myself, I feel these things, but with Christ, they're all gone. So with that, I became a counselor. I was making $18,000 a year as a counselor trainee in 1993. I began to study more. I accomplished my associate's degree. I made the national list. I made the national dean's list. I got my bachelor's degree from Springfield College, a full scholarship. I made the national dean's list. I made the dean's list every semester. What else? I became Psi Chi and Psi Beta Honor Psychology Societies. And then I moved to Miami. Got married, bought a big house. I sued the company and I won over $1 million something. You think life was better then? Well, no. Still miserable, still suicidal, tried to kill myself a couple times. Decided that the money was not making me happy, so I decided I wanted to leave. So I left my ex-wife, told her take the millions, take everything, just leave me alone.
Step front, step front. Right foot, left foot. Come on. Right foot, left foot. Your feet ain't
Okay, let's take it.
Their own agenda that you don't know about. So you got to be very careful in who you hang with, who you be with. You want to be with someone that's positive, not somebody that does not feel right to you or your spirit. So you got to be careful about that. Slide on through. I had other things I wanted to do, like play more basketball. Party every weekend. And I mean, I partied every weekend all year. I never missed a weekend. I started on Wednesday and ended on Sunday. Okay? Every single weekend. You thought I'd be bored and tired of that, but I wasn't. Now, the classroom style wasn't my speed when I wanted to go do something wrong or go make some money. They said, man, you're good. Well, you can sell anything, man. You just selling it, man. You got people all around you. You just got here. You're making money. I guess they thought that that was going to be my career, but deep down inside, I really wanted to learn.
To motivate students, there should be more field trips.
all of our poster people. We got some over there. Good job. I want us participating, for working with each other, for doing teamwork. It's all about teamwork. What did you learn today? Or from Kenny's presentation to this presentation, tell me some things that you learned. We want to make sure you're taking something back home. How should we march? Good job.
In 1909.
She better get it.
And it helped African Americans get equal rights.
Come on. All right. Their school, there's one thing they said they want to keep in their schools, and there's one thing they wanted to work towards to make better in their school. What is that? Music. How many like music? They want to keep music in their school. Music is a way of communication, and it brings about feeling and it makes you ambitious about certain things. What is one thing that they wanted to work towards? That they need new what? New instruments and new what? Teachers. They want teachers who care about them. You had your hand raised? No. Okay. So they wanted, cause I call mine your own spunk, your own jazz, or whatever you want to say. You're unique. So I am the greatest. You're the greatest, the boldest, the baddest, the coolest, whatever you want to be. All right? So I hope that you guys take that back from here. The posters are an awesome job. They use every color marker I think they use in that whole entire little package thing. So I'm going to say well done, well done. I'm going to say GOODJOB. Good job, good job. All right? Good job. So
that they know what's happening, because then they can take the next step and try to do something to stop the bullying. Nobody wants to be bullied. And just let you know the person that's bullying you really
they may say, well, you need to write a speech for Black History Month. You got the criteria to teach you how to write a speech. So everybody